Hey, my name is Matt Hatfield. Today is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Happy holidays to everybody. Although it feels like we're jumping past December and right into January. I don't even know why it feels like that. My son and I were talking about it, and it was just sort of the way of what's happening December. We're just every day is ripping off. And through this weekend, we're going to be, well past halfway over the month. And then the big days in a week apparently, and then New Year's is here. So as we all can attest, the calendar just rips off the wall. Next thing you know, it's January 7th, and the New Year's kicked off, and we're sort of right back at the grind that we probably stay in right till then anyway. So if you're going out of town and you're going to enjoy the holidays the right way, which is take a vacation, good for you. I will be manning my computer and trying to help all of us, all of you, through what is, of course, how the bond market works, how the mortgage rates work. They're always rocket ships up and dropping like rocks. And what happened today was a major plummet in the mortgage market interest rates. And that really derives from the bond market. The bond market went berserk today. The yields dropped 40 basis points. Insane. 10-year, 2-year, completely just fell off a cliff. And those yields that drop, obviously the interest rate drop, the bond prices skyrocket while the yield comes down. Meaning there's a huge demand for something, so supply and demand, and the demand for the bond goes screaming higher. The price is climbing, and the yield is falling. And so people are trying to buy the yield, earn the yield. That's what they're purchasing, these 10-year and 2-year treasuries. Well, there's all this demand that went there. It's the safest asset in the world, a U.S. Treasury. And conversely, when that happens, all this money goes to those places, our interest rates drop. So what did we have happen this year? Basically, August, September, October, interest rates just spiked. They went right through the ceiling, and we found ourselves in the high sevens, low eights in some cases. It was just absolutely nuts. And people had to jump through the arithmetic of coupled with the mortgage prices, the home prices they have out in the marketplace, and then the interest rates that were hitting us all at the same time. So it became this mathematical gymnastics that wasn't fun for people to try to entertain. Hey, I want to buy, everybody on that color wheel of purchasing a home, whether you're trying to buy something at 150,000 or 1.1 million, all over the board, people are just taking a step back and deciding, hey, maybe I need to just put a pause on this, or maybe I need to, triple think this, or how can I manage this? And there weren't a lot of solves, mainly due to the fact that the 10-year and the 2-year yield are inverted. So if you haven't heard this, and as a consumer, you're out in the marketplace and you might be going into something, you figure, hey, I got a lot of options. But when the 10-year and the 2-year in the mortgage market are inverted, that means our ARM products are not a solve. If we go higher on our 30-year fixed rate, when we're inverted, that means we don't have anything lower to offer. Now, there's some very small solutions, and we could get into a million things here. But the reality is that the long end of the curve actually has the lowest rate. Normally, the front end of the curve has the lowest interest rate to offer. If you want a 5-year ARM, you're supposed to get the lowest interest rate. But because the 10-year and the 2-year are inverted, which you may have heard, then that's why ARMs are not in vogue. If maybe you've crossed that bridge with your own mortgage loan originator, or you had called me and I told you about that as well, it doesn't work that way. So it's not a normal market right now. We don't have normal interest rates. In fact, our interest rate ladder, as I like to call it, was very thin in August, September, October, November, meaning it's difficult to drive the lowest interest rate and to keep your costs low, right? I call that flexing the seesaw on both sides, getting the rate as low as you can and the price to get that rate as low as you can, right? That's really tough. Normally, one is up and one's down, and the rate's high, but the costs are really low. And at the same point, we're always trying to flex that and do the very best we can. Well, in this environment with the 10-year and 2-year inverted, that ladder of rates, there wasn't a lot of meat on the bone to help consumers with lender credits to get that one side down as long as we had lower interest rate, relatively speaking. If we could pay very little for it, then we can be effective down the road on a refinance as well. If you're paying a lot to get a low interest rate and then interest rates go way lower, well, you just spent all this money and now you got to do it again. So we're always trying to hit a happy medium, a balance when it comes to putting you in a home, helping you with a refinance, and be effective with the cost of funds that we're working with. Let's be really efficient. Now, if this becomes uninverted in the 2 year, the front end of the curve, does what it's always typically have done, which is the yield is lower than the long end of the curve. Okay. And that's the risky part. It means if you want a short term loan, like a 5 year ARM, you get the reward of a lower rate because the yield is lower. Okay. But then that term will come due, and then you are going to be subjected to the marketplace. And that's what makes people nervous about ARMs. Truly, there are other ARM products that are lights out, 7 year, 10 year ARMs, very long term ARMs that are just awesome to work with, and they can help a lot of consumers. But if this becomes uninverted, then the 10 year and all these things go back to sort of kind of normal, then we're going to have some meat on the bone. That is going to help consumers with the lender credits at the closing table. And that will wildly change the game and sort of, again, go uninverted, right? Uninvert ourselves from this weird world we've been living in to the normal world in which consumers and lenders can sort of work together to be effective when we go out and purchase a home or refinance a home. Okay, maximum conforming loan limits. Single family houses, single family residences, 1 unit, new conforming loan limit, $766,550. A 2 unit, $981,550. A 3 unit, $1.186 million. A 4 unit, $1.474 million. Preparation, it means everything, right? No plan is a plan to fail, and if you plan, you'll be successful. Please prepare. You can always call me. I can give you tips and advice on how to, set up your life to be really confident when you want to go in to buy a property. And then, of course, housing, it really is for the long term. 90% of us are out there. We're not trying to become real estate moguls. We're looking for a plan to have housing, to take care of our housing needs. I'm here to make you successful in that adventure and create calmness around what might be some apprehensiveness. And I guarantee you, if we get on the phone, or we walk through some spreadsheets, you'll be happy to learn what we can achieve together. My name is Matt Hatfield. Today, again, is the kickoff to the holiday season. Happy New Year's to you. Merry Christmas. Give me a call if you've got questions, or shoot me an email. Happy to help out. Make it a great day and have a great week.